And we're live. We're live.
Shikha. Okay, fine.
No, this
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
You can say it. My lives are very casual. If something important, you can say it. We're
Yeah.
live.
This
Okay.
is good. Yeah.
It's good. I
Yeah.
come up with very, like suddenly I go live and then my children come in and then something happens and all that has been witnessed by everybody who's watched my 100 interviews of moms across the world. So
100.
everything is done when you're a mom.
Oh,
We've already taken out a book as well, which is
wow.
called 100 Self-Portrait, 100 Dreams. So, welcome everyone. I have just sent some messages, especially to these moms who are in this book that I have released called 100 Self-Portrait, 100 Dreams. To hear this incredibly beautiful mom I interacted with recently, and um, just in her one conversation, there was just so many questions that were going in my head. Like, yeah, I never thought of this. Oh, I never thought of this. Oh, she kept on putting so many questions, and a curious creature like me, questions just inspires me to just keep going ahead and finding more and having conversations and bringing more. And Lakshmi, since I've met you, I've been thinking about some things that you said. But more than that, your one little episode of showing up with your child for a bigger cause was another thing. We will talk all about it. And I always say that mothers or the people who live their stories always tell their stories the best. So I don't read long biodatas about people at all, ever, because
Yeah.
in the end, these are
Yeah.
all stories.
Yeah.
So I would love you to start off with your journey till here, and we will take you in the motherhood journey. We will take you in other ways, but how's your journey been till here? How did it start? Let's hear, where are you from? What are you doing? And we'll start from there.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes. So this curious and proud mom, really, I was also thrilled to meet you, Shikha, and to have a baby crib at the back when the fathers would actually push it away. Look at the BBC. Remember that episode?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yes, remember.
I have an iron board. I have some bag. I have some Legos, and I have the baby chair. So I'm very
Yes,
proud.
exactly.
This is
Yeah.
my life. This is my life.
Yes. Yes. But just to share a little bit, first of all, motherhood is something which is next to actually divinity. I'll be very honest about it. And I felt motherhood even before I became a mom. Motherhood is
Right.
not just when you birth a baby. Motherhood is also the general nature of caring and sharing. And I've
Right.
always felt like, I don't know, once I remember telling my roommate in JNU, I felt that people of Manipur are like my children. I've
Yes.
heard this. This was even like when I was like 23 years old, 21 years old.
We have an international audience. I know JNU because I'm from Delhi, but you must
Yes,
tell people what JNU is.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, absolutely, yes.
Where is it? We have to tell them location wise because we might have people watching from all over the world.
Yeah, we'll start from Kakha
Yeah.
A, B, C. All right. So first, this human being, this mom her name is Bina. The word Bina Lakshmi comes from Veena is the musical instrument which the goddess of learning plays, and Lakshmi is the goddess of wealth. So my professors used to tell me, you are without Lakshmi, Bina Lakshmi. So I was born
Yeah.
in Manipur, in northeast of India. This is a beautiful former Asiatic kingdom with a 3,000-year-old history. So what I'm wearing today is woven by the mothers of Manipur. So whenever I come, I always try to honor them by wearing this fabric woven by amazing women, mothers of Manipur. So so I'm from there, and then I am a scholar by training. So I have a double master's in history and sociology, all through motherhood. And then I started a nonprofit called the Manipur Women Gun Survivors Network. That time, for us, we don't use the word profit or nonprofit. Hi.
Right.
So it could be, hi, who's this?
They will just keep coming in and going. So
Yeah. So this is what is known as because the area that I come from, before I even talk about my motherhood, it was the mothers of Manipur. And actually, I'll take you to the grandmothers of Manipur, who actually instilled in me a sense of the power that we have, a kind of a unique power to heal ourselves and the world around us. And And the reason why I say this is Manipur is a very unique state in the northeast of India, which has been under a conflict since 1949. Because till 1949, Manipur was like Bhutan, Nepal, an independent Asiatic nation state.
Right.
And then when the British left the Asian continent, South Asian continent, the Manipuri people thought we would be free. But then the government of India came and put the king under house arrest and said, you are Indians. So I grew up with this notion that I am an Indian till I reach New Delhi, Shikha, and people ask me, Madam, which country are you from? Ab Thai ho, Filipino ho, Nepali ho, but never an Indian. So what was very interesting was my parents and like many parents in northeast of India, where I come from, this is home to 45 million indigenous people, 45 million indigenous people speaking over 400 dialects. It should be a national geographer's paradise, right? So this is where I came from. And then like where you are, I came to Delhi to do my graduation. I came to Delhi to do my physics honors, but I got admitted in mathematics honors in Miranda House. And later I switched to arts because I realized that I would like to do more research, writing, and analysis. So this is where, yes, I come from that part of the world. And then, yes, I lived and worked in Delhi for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm from Delhi, and JNU is, for me, JNU is this place where I showed my kids when they were growing up the blue bulls. I'm very naturally, and you find so many blue bulls in
Yes.
JNU. So I used to take my older one to blue bulls to show in JNU. But of course, JNU campus, as youngsters, we've gone in and out, from the university. And what you just this is new to me as well, what you just told me, that India, when the Britishers left, Indian people had captured the king and taken it. This is very new to me as an information. You have to give me 1 second.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah, I mean, the thing is, I have a master's in Indian history. And then after doing 5 years of Indian history, can you imagine, in Delhi University, I was left with one question, Shikha. Where is the history of 45 million people of the northeast of India? And my professors were like, Beena, the Indian syllabus change every 10 years. We cannot include now. And Shikha, they still haven't included it. Can you imagine? So that's why I don't blame you or any other people. The one of the reasons we really tried the last couple of years.
I know you are still live. Please talk to people about it. People are listening. This is an interview.
Sure.
This is an emergency with this boy. For 1 second, I'll have to just drop him, and then I'll be back. Give me 1 second. But to talk, because there is Bawansa joining us from Africa. Please tell her about it, and I'll just give you one. I'll be back. Bawansa, she's all yours.
Yes. So yes, yes. So whoever is listening, and don't worry, I think this is a mom's interview. So I think we are what we are with our children and our work and chores. So no worries. So I was just telling that the part of India that I come from is home to 45 million indigenous people. And there has been a sort of, it's like an incomplete nation building actually happening. So the British took over many parts of South Asia, for 200 years. And when the British left, there were many left. For example, Shikha, in the northeast of India, they were like, Manipur was a kingdom, Tripura was a kingdom, Sikkim was a kingdom, Assam was a kingdom. So there were 4 kingdoms in what is known as India's northeast, that you know it. But again, these histories are not in the textbooks of India. So as a result, a child growing up in Delhi, Mumbai, have no clue. Who are the people? They all think the racialized profile is all the people from northeast India live in jungles. They eat anything that moves. We don't have rains. And our women are morally loose. These are the concepts I felt when I was in Delhi. And that's why for several years, I don't know if you remember, there was a 19-year-old boy called Nido Tanya. He was beaten to death in the streets of Delhi. And we took up, and I was there with many other students from the Northeast for several months protesting at Jantar Mantar till we got the government of India to recognize for the first time and draft and have a committee called the Bisbara Committee to look at racialized violence from northeast of India. So for me, my life as a mother is not just about taking care of my own child and the people of Manipur, but it started encompassing the struggles that 45 million, minority Indians from the Northeast were facing in other borders. So as I said, the concept of motherhood for me is a larger concept of not just dealing with that, but also trying to make the Indian nation state understand that there are children who may look different. A child from Mumbai may look like different from a child from Manipur or Assam or Tripura or Nagaland or Sikkim. But if everybody is an Indian citizen, then it should be treated equally. So that's what, as I said, the concept of motherhood for me, from home, on the streets, to community, to the government channels, we have traveled it all. Yeah.
So, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I have always met a lot of people in my life. I've been very curious. For me and my kids now as well, they don't know racial differences. They don't know the word foreigner, because I don't even feel that another
Yeah.
country person is a foreigner. Like, I just think we're just
Yeah.
we're just humans. We stay in different places, and we
Absolutely.
have our own issues and our own problems, but we're just all humans at the end, and
Absolutely.
just trying to figure out our own stories and lives, and we're just moving forward like
Yes.
that. But
Yes.
I think some of it is true what you're saying, and you deal with it every single day. And
Yes.
you know, and I'll have to confess it publicly. One
Yeah.
questions that came to my mind was, do I have a Northeastern mom in my book? And I have a Pakistani mom, I have a Japanese mom, I have moms from everywhere, and I was not even looking at them as if they were Pakistani or Japanese or African, or I was just looking at them because I was inspired by who they were, and their stories were very inspiring for me. So it was just like a mother for me.
Yeah.
But when you were talking that day, the other day, and I was just like, do I really have to think like that? That do I need, and do I know a Northeastern mom? And then I really thought, and I actually know. And so maybe the interactions are not such, because in my interaction zone, social zone, even the Northeastern moms have not come in. It's not,
Sure.
their stories have not come in, and there were such beautiful stories. The other day we were talking about the parlor story of serving, even having a parlor and serving was such a beautiful story with the other guests that we had. And we're talking about your grandmoms and their wisdom and what they were teaching you. They was just so. In fact, your mom being, one of the first educators
Yeah.
in that area was another thing.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I
Yeah.
thought as an Indian, I must bring this interview ahead so that we can bring our sisters from the Northeast and put
Yeah.
them in the mainstream of the conversation, because
Yeah.
we have to start taking this effort of bridging this gap, because we are not different, and it's on this side as well. It's not a conscious thing. It's just the circles are not mingling, and this mingling needs to happen to be able to
Yes.
even understand and to hold, to heal, to
Absolutely.
know that there is a problem there, but the
Yeah.
mingling is not happening. This line of Northeast and this
Yeah.
side has to start to blur out for us to get there.
And Shika, the thing is, I have done I'm a scholar by training, and I have done extensive research, writing, and analysis on this particular issue. There's a very famous Bengali saying called "the fish starts rotting from the head." Think about it. So we investigated very clearly as to why this divide is happening. As I mentioned, I thought I was Indian till I came to Delhi, and people asked me, "Madam, which country are you from?" So I always tell people who say, "Do you feel different?" I said, "We have always felt Indian till we come, and then other people in India then othered us." So, but we don't blame, as I mentioned, other, because you have a child now, Sika. The child's formative age is between what they learn from kindergarten till class like 8, 9, 10. After that, jitna bhi thopo, it doesn't go so far. But
Right.
it's the most formative stage at that time. If you do not teach our children, or it's about a different faces of India, different cultures of India. Because you see, if you look at Bollywood, if you look at Indian television, look at the faces. They always have this very particular, in Bollywood, it has to be, gori, you're white,
Changing
night
now. It's
of,
changing
yeah,
now.
it's
It's
changing.
changing in the last few years.
Yeah,
It's all
but
changing.
predominantly. And then we have creams like Fair and Lovely, which says, Gori hai to, sundar hai, kind of thing. So I think this racialization of faces has to be, again, as India develops, I think we have to also include diversity and inclusion in every field. For example, look at any magazine in Mumbai. So we have taken this right to the ministerial level to tell that if you do not show that India has diverse faces, then there will always be racialized way of treating others. And this, I don't blame the people. I actually said the policymakers have to really, so I have met Sushma Swaraj, I have met all of these government officials, and we have tried to let them understand, again, as moms, we're concerned, because when Dido Tanya died in Delhi in 2013, I saw the pain the mother went through. Which child, the children are sent for higher studies and they get a body bag. So for us as moms, we have to ensure the protection of our children at home or any part of this country. So this is, again, something which as moms, we are working very hard to, again,
Yeah,
as you rightly said, yeah, to
incredible
understand.
work, incredible work. And
Yeah.
here we are sitting in this conversation to just bring this little
Yeah.
bit of mingling of.
Yeah.
I'm a Punjabi. I'm a
Yeah.
hardcore Punjabi, right? So
Okay.
I don't look like one. I'm not the typical Punjabi looking girl. I can
Mm.
be like a Bengali. Like I could get away looking like a South Indian as well in many places. But
Yeah.
I must assure you also now being here and having conversations that things are changing amongst us. I don't think we anymore. Your guys' work and other work has been done enough that we consider Northeast. We are getting conscious. People are
Yeah.
stopping people from making any comments.
Yeah.
And youngsters, especially in 20s and all, have started to embrace that change for sure.
That's wonderful.
We're a big population,
Yeah.
but I must say this that within our, like I've
Mm.
had friends from Northeast in my school, and we
Mm.
were very fascinated with Darjeeling. I have visited the Khasi, people in when we were visiting Northeast, and we were talking to them. We were fascinated with them. Now
Yes.
a lot of weaver exchange is happening with
Yes.
Northeast. My
Yes.
assistant was a Northeastern. She was an Assami girl, who worked with me.
Okay.
Very, very close friend from Assam, Baruas, again
Yeah.
from Assam. So I just think that it is happening and the
Yeah.
work is mingling, and it's a lot
Yes.
of work, continuous work, talking about it brings about awareness. So yeah, that's what Kavita is telling us. We must at least talk, and that's why we wanted you to come here so that we have a sister from Northeast to talk to us about it, and more will come through you and in this conversation, and it'll get added. And all
Yeah.
we can do is inspire and have conversation. And people like you are taking way ahead steps by going and meeting the government and talking about it. And so, thank you for that, and thank you for you know having this much concern and also being open-minded that it is not people's fault. That's how
Yeah.
it has been. The history has been deleted or
Yeah.
not deleted. It's never been talked about
Yeah.
so openly in our textbooks, etc. So I think we all, through this conversation, I'm hoping we'll start multiplying it. But going back to your childhood, how was your childhood? Let's talk about your mother. Frank is here as well, and your mother, and then we will talk about you in the march with your 3-month-old in the bag for 20,000 widows, you were standing up for, am I right? When you went for a march somewhere?
Oh, my daughter was 1 month old when actually she was, because in Manipur we have the culture of like moms usually tie the kids at the back and then we sing lullabies like Tha Tha Thabung Ton, means just looking at the sun, a moon, and lulling the child to sleep. So for us, I mean, for some of us who work in community, I didn't even have maternity leave. I was at work till the day of my delivery. I was back at work 4 days after. Many of us who work with communities without government job, corporate jobs, any job, for us who have actually given up a comfortable life, we didn't have any of those luxuries. So I've never known what is maternity leave. But yes, my child grew up in the crucible of, she was 1 month old when I took her actually at a Prakati Maidan where there were 400 arms companies trying to sell weapons to Gandhi's India, the country which independence without firing a single bullet. We got independence without firing a single bullet, non-violent techniques. And there was a lot of arms manufacturers which was coming to India to sell arms. And for me, I'm non-violent in my heart, in my soul, in my consciousness. As a mother, we are life givers, we are, life sustainers and protectors. So I have never believed in violence, will never, ever. And so we went to protest. So I was with my 1-month-old daughter. Other friends from India were like, Bina, you're not supposed to take your kid out. I said, when there are thousands of people gathered, how could I stay away from it? And this was an event that we organized. So my kid was with me when I was able to deliver a talk and continue to guide our team through that process. So yes, if someone tells you if you're a mother and you're brain dead, please tell them actually it's just the opposite. In fact, after the birth of my daughter, it has made me more stronger as a person. And the motherhood brings you this amazing strength, which I didn't know before, this love as well as this. And again, as I said, and I made it known to my child that my love for you is there, but I also made her understand the love for other people. That love is not just as a mother, just to your own child or to your own, it's about a larger love too. And this we both understand now. Yeah.
No, it's gorgeous, and I like that comment that just because you're a mother, you're not brain dead. For sure, I think that's some notion that we as mothers also start thinking. Forget about outsiders thinking that we as mothers do this to ourselves. We start thinking we become brain dead because there is a lot of work, especially in the early years, and then in the middle years, and then in the teenage years, there's just some work and work and work, and it just doesn't end. And then
and Shika, I have one thing to add. I have been on 9 o'clock prime time TV serious programs, right? This is when I'm still feeding my baby. So I used to get another mom to just sit for half an hour while we were live telecast is going on. So I'm praying my daughter doesn't cry at that time. And because you're going live like you are, but at that time, I wish I had met you there, then she would have just cried with everything. But we also wanted to protect her for her safety and security too. So I deliberately also don't bring her so much into, or actually in all my interviews, I said, yes, not to sort of, because again, the kind of work that some of us do are not is sensitive. It's also not easy. So when you're with crowds, so I try to protect her all the time. But yes, there have been moments when you have to do what you have to do. And she has been so good throughout this process. And yes, I was able to do my work. Yeah.
I'm so glad, and I can already feel your passion towards bringing this to the world and the work that you've done, Binalakshmi. But this whole movement of mum is bringing the way mums are showing up, and there are mums who are showing up so that the other mum can show up for many things. And when we have interactions with mothers like you who are irrespective showing up, some other mother will wake up and say, Veena Lakshmi can do that, I can do this for sure. So and I believe myself, I'm non-violent for sure. I'm a vegan on top of it. But more than that, I also feel that marches ultimately end on a particular day, on a particular paper, or somewhere else. But stories resonate, the interaction and the conversation, and when the stories become verbal stories, it can reach thousands of people and it can change lives. And that's why I'm very inspired to bring stories of living mothers so that it becomes like a verbal, I am talking about you showing up with your 1 month already to so many people, right? So there are more people who are going to look at it today and they're going to show up. We have Frank here with us. We have Kavita with us. I carry their stories. I talk to people about their stories. Mawansa is here. She left Africa and she went all her story of walking somewhere she could like reach US in like when if my facts are not correct, but she could take a plane for 3 4 hours, but couldn't afford it, so she walked for 6 7 days or
Mm.
something to reach, and now she's really doing well for herself, and she's standing up for her Zimbabwean people, all the time, and she's doing such great work, and she's here. So I just think that we need to just at least talk. We need to mingle. We need to blur out the word. And we mothers absolutely know how to do it lovingly. We know it how lovingly. Um,
Yes.
and ripple effect goes ahead. Your ripple effect shows from your mother. You know,
Ye-
your mother standing up for education. So let's talk about your mom a little bit
Yes.
to
Oh,
the.
yes. Yes. I have, like, I think every mom is incredible. I think every mom. And my mother, her name is Yensembam Ibemal. She was the only child of her parents, though she had other of but she was the only child, and she grew up, and I'm so grateful also to her father. At that time when Manipur was only a few people, women could get educated, my maternal grandfather, we have to also thank our ancestors who ensured that we had this, believed in the women, the girls, and gave. This was like 1930s,
And we need to
Shika.
do that before you go ahead. We need to do that because the whole
Yeah.
idea of ripple effect gets rooted when we talk about when it started. Because if a person
Yeah.
starts and it doesn't show in his lifetime what the effect happens, the second
Yeah,
generation takes it
exactly.
forward. By the time it reaches the third generation, probably it's
Yeah,
flourished fully and they don't have a chance to see what they
absolutely.
started. But they were determined that they'll flourish 2 generations down. And
Absolutely.
that's why acknowledging them is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. My maternal grandfather, Yensemam Gulamjad, he was somebody who believed in girls' education. And at the time when hardly any women was there, he ensured that my mother went to school in like rural Manipur. And then I'm also like, so she completed her bachelor's in zoology. Her, she, and then she went after 3 kids. Then again, I also have to also acknowledge my father, actually, who after 2 kids was willing to take care of the children. And then my mother went to another town to complete her master's in zoology in Guwahati University.
Wow,
So
amazing.
she told me a time when she was pregnant, but the master's exam was near. She went back, delivered a baby, went back and finished her master's in zoology. So again, hearing these stories from this, again, thankful to my maternal grandfather and my father, my mother got the support that is needed at that time. And because my great grandfather showed how education is so important. My mother used to tell me, it's not the wealth, but it's education which will let you fly. And so she instilled that in us because of this intergenerational support, right? And she ensured that even though I was born in Manipur is a small little town, right? In northeast of India. It was a center in its own right, but then after we became a part of India, we became a periphery. Otherwise, we were a part of the Asiatic kingdom, where the Manipuri kings, princesses were married to Burmese kings, to Tripura kings. So there was a lot of intercultural marriages, and it was what we call the beginning of Southeast Asia, is actually my region. So there was a lot of intercultural there. But then when we became a part of India, we were become the periphery. So in the periphery, then things are hardly happening there. So, but she ensured that we attended Eastern India science camps, we attended general knowledge competitions. She ensured that, and my father was a chauffeur. My mother was a director. She was like, go and attend. You could be in a school, but school actually, nowadays, Shika, I have to tell you very honestly, I've been speaking to many educators. School instills a sense of discipline, and of course we learn certain things, but then schools are very mechanical these days also. Ratta maro, you by hearted. but it's not teaching children thinking, proper processing. So I remember some parts of my school, the discipline it instills, but the best part of my education was my mother ensuring that we went outside the school and mingled with people and other cultures from other community. For example, imagine me from the Northeast going to Bihar for the first time and interacting with children from other parts of India. For me, that was for me a really important education. Going to Assam. So I grew up having friends from Bihar, from Uttar Pradesh, so I never felt that I was different. I felt I was one, like you said. So I think it's really important, as you rightly said. And as a result, we were able to tell intergeneration. And my mother just not only educated us, but she ensured, she's a real educationist. She ensured, she set up a school and she had courses, vocational courses for children who cannot afford even 1 rupee in the evening. So she had classes opened up for families, and she would, anyone who needed education, she would take her under her wings. She also wrote geometry books. Can you imagine? She's very good with numbers, my mom. She wrote, if you give her a phone number, she'll remember like this. I can't do that, but she's very good with numbers. She's very good with all of this. So she instilled a sense of like education as a pathway towards literally freedom of being bonded literally at home as well as around. Yeah.
You know, this is story which is very important because you are the ripple effect of your mother being supported, and I always say this: when a mother is supported, generations are supported ahead. You know,
Yeah.
not that to say everybody knows my father is my soulmate, and I think this movement is supported a lot by men, the mum
Yes.
movement also. So we have to give the due credit to all the men who support it, who love, who send me so much support that sometimes, like, I'm just shocked that from where are these men coming and supporting this from all over the world who never met me. They will
Yeah.
send me a message, do this and do that, and you're just giving up and don't stop. But having said that, mums have had a rough time, and it has become a very generational trauma for many mothers who did not have the opportunity to tell their stories, to even speak up, or to even go ahead and
Yeah.
think that we are not brainless, as you mentioned in the beginning, that we are not brainless. We can, they accept it that now that we had children, we cannot. And since this movement has started, it's called 100 Self-Portrait, 100 Dreams. And I always tell, at least dream. Give
Mm.
yourself permission to at least dream. We will see
Yeah.
what happens. Yes, children can take over our lives, and we might have to just slow down. It happened. Like I created a stage. I
Yeah.
launched the book. It was big hit. People came from different parts. Mothers, shared the stage just to tell their stories for 3 minutes from different parts of India and world. To stand
Yeah.
up and just tell their story for 3 minutes. I don't know why they came. I keep asking them, why have you loved me so much that you just came from different parts? The pain was so strong that they wanted to be there to tell the stories. But at the same time, I have 3 months break because my children needed me. So we have to keep balancing, but just giving up your dream totally, not to be able to dream. I never, and I rise and you go down and you rise, but you never fall as a
Yeah.
mom, and we must tell our children that, uh,
Mm.
you know, that the mother can do what she wants to do. At the same time, she will be supported, and then she will support many, including you, if she is
Yeah.
empowered. So,
Yes.
that's been the story, and I just see this with your mom being so empowered. She's empowered so many, and as you said that mothering so many people. We just had a mother before you who 3.5 lakh people directly affected in last 26 years. She's from JNU as well. Her
Mm.
name is Rashmi Mishra, and she
Oh.
has a organization called Vidya, and she supported 3 lakhs plus people directly with vocational moms and children in education. So when you see this kind of work, it's so gorgeous to know, and I think you guys are going to inspire so many people.
Mm.
Having said that, let's go back to some romantic version of Northeast, the reality we've spoken about. But I know there are some grandmom tales, and there are some little things that get passed on by mothers verbally in every culture. What is it that you've heard? Because as I said, we need to mingle. I need to hear some story that was so beautiful that I can tell my child today and say,
Sure.
sorry, I listened to this, and this is what happened in Northeast. One grandmother probably said this story. So let's hear one or two tales about moms
Yes,
from Northeast.
absolutely. Yeah. And you're going to love this, I tell you.
I can see it on your face.
You, Ishika, as a fellow Indian, you will have never heard this story, okay?
I would like to hear it.
This is a story that I'm going to tell about this called Women's War. Women's War of 1904 and 1939. And here is how the story starts. So when the British came to colonize the Indian subcontinent, the last frontier that they tried to colonize was Manipur, the last one, okay? 1891 was the year that the Manipuris and the British fought a war. And then they realized that none could win. So the British, of course, they had firepower, but they also realized they can't control everything. So they had an arrangement in which the king of Manipur became the king, and they took care of, as you absolutely know, economics and trade and all of this. So they said, okay, we'll do all of that, because that's what East India Company was about, trading, right? So they were like, okay. And then the Manipur king was still at the power, and then that was the arrangement made. Now, in 1904, what happened was, so the British, they did with other parts of India, they want to build structures, they would make it so they had what is called a political agent, who was like the governor, right? So the political agent's residence was one day found burned to the ground. So the British people said, all right, we don't know who burned it. So they rounded up the able-bodied men and says, now you rebuild it. Now, what happened was, and the Manipuri people discussed, but it was the women of Manipur who said, we are not your slaves, British people, we are not your slaves. If you want our men to build your political bungalow back, pay them. British said, no, you have to build it. So the Manipuri women knew that the British soldiers don't touch women's bodies. So what they did was they formed a body of wall when they tried to recruit, and then actually tussled with the British people.
Wow.
And they said, we are not your slaves, we are not. So that is known, that tussle was known as, in our history, as Manipur's first women's war, 1904.
Wow. Wow.
And so they didn't build it free of charge. There was arrangement made. That was one episode in story that we grew up. Number two, 1939, British still around. The British and the Marwaris are the business class in Manipur. They were also in Manipur. When they realized that the Manipuri rice actually is very good, okay? We have rice which is lilac in color. We have like varieties of rice back home. Yeah, and we have even rice shampoo, Shika, and which like...
Rice in lilac color? I want to eat that rice. Come on, right?
I know. I wish I could show you. You have to come home, right? So what the British and the Marwari did, they were siphoning off Manipuri good rice for export, huh? By the way, Manipur is a part of this whole, like part of Yunnan and other parts, which is known as the origin of rice belt in the world. It's very historic. So our rice is really good quality. So they were siphoning rice. And then because in Manipur, we have a 500-year-old women's market. Do you know this, Sika? We call it Ima's market, mother's market. A market where 5,000 mothers sit, sell things. No men allowed inside except for buying. So you'll see like rows of women. It's called Ima Market. It's a 500-year-old women's market, profile in New York Times. It's one of these wonders of Manipur. In fact, if Manipuri women and mothers are strong, it's because we have this amazing space where women could be galvanized in 10 seconds like this. That's what the thing which the government of India, government of Manipur fear is the Manipuri women.
Wow. Yeah.
because we have this galvanizing power, right? In like seconds in that. So that's 1939. So when the British were and so when the women realized that there was, and because the rice was taken away without the permission, it created an artificial scarcity of rice in Manipur. So the mothers of Manipur, what they did, they blocked the Marwaris and the British people who were siphoning. They literally upturned the cards down, and they
Wow.
carried out the British political agent, and thousands of them stormed the British political agent's place. And then that's how the siphoning of rice. So this is known in our history as the Second Women's War of 1939. These are not violent wars. These are the mothers using the power of the agency to tell one of the highest colonial powers at the time, bugger off. Okay.
Wow. Wow,
So
that's so beautiful. That's so.
yeah.
Mawansa is here saying, wow, wow, wow. I can't see too many comments. I can definitely see Mawansa. I'm sure there are a lot of stories of Zimbabwe Mawansa has as well. But this is, you see, now I'm going to tell this story to many people. Unless we share stories, unless we share like mother space, because what you're talking about, the first few years, the kids are closest to the mother, right next to them. And if these stories can go to them, and if
Yeah.
we, like you're a scholar, maybe take out a book of children of these stories and let the mothers tell these stories, make these stories popular. Because yes, we need to go to the government, but I always say that we are going to the wrong side. We need to like turn our faces this side, because the mother has the solution for the political problem as well. Because tomorrow's
Yeah.
politician,
Absolutely.
tomorrow's army, tomorrow everything is coming out of that mother. So we
Yeah.
need to really bring it back to the mother, so that the new generation that's coming out, that
Yeah.
can be fed with
Yeah.
this knowledge. Yes, we need to keep fighting the political people, but if
Yeah.
we can start putting like your great grandfather did the work
Yeah.
now in this, the next two generations, we might be out of a lot of political issues and problems as well. And that's my
Absolutely.
belief in the mother. That's my
Yeah.
belief that the mother
Sure.
really has the pulse to root it down to the mother. And these stories have given me an idea. I think I'll need to collect all the mothers together to get their favorite stories they've heard of mothers and put them in
Yes.
a book together someday.
Yeah, absolutely. But I have to tell you, Shika, I do also worry about a lot of mothers in our communities, because in as much they have so much strength, in as much as they work so hard, they don't even have time to rest. So when I started the Manipur Women Gun Survivors Network in 2004 and launched it in 2007, together with Rina Mutum and many others, like really incredible women, mothers, whom I hope you'll interview also in the series.
I would love to, yeah.
Yes, yes. So what happened was we realized that because of the violence, a lot of mothers got widowed, right? Widowed. So we met a lot of young mothers with young children. So we started the Manipur Women Gun Survivors Network to put food on the table, ensure that the children go to school. And then we were able to file litigation for those who have committed these crimes and violence against it. So at least they will feel a sense of like justice, right? So we did that, and we are continuing to do that strongly till today. We have not been, from Manipur Women Gun Survivors Network, we took this concept to entire northeast of India and across the Burma, and even in other parts of the world too. And now this concept has become one of the strongest concepts of how women and mothers have come together to confront violence, militarization, and also like to say enough is enough, stop the conflicts, let us live in peace, right? But so through that we set up like we work now in 300 villages. We set up 37 women's groups, many of them mothers groups, in which we have ensured that, again, economic empowerment model. But we also ensure that we find time for our health and healing. So tomorrow we are having a health camp for the women, for the marginalized communities, for the displaced communities in the northeast of India, in Manipur. We have our campus in Manipur. You're most welcome to come. There are over like 30, 40 looms. Women can grow, mothers can come and stay. So we set up this, what is called shelter homes for women, mothers, so that they can come play carom. Because if a woman is idling away, they will call her idling away if she's not working in the kitchen or anything, right? But women need to also let their hair down, get a head massage, get a sense, listen to some nice music, get a sense of reclaiming this space back. So I think it's really important as we do this. And so we do theater also, like we do role play. We come together, for example, on 29th of April, we are going to have the 4th Northeast India Indigenous Women's Peace Congregation in Assam, where women and mothers will come from all over. And we are going to have, of course, a congregation, but we'll also have the place for songs, for music, for just healing spaces, while trying to grapple with the larger issues of confronting violence. So again, why I'm saying this is it's so important that women and mothers are always working so hard. And so my mother never went to a beauty parlor in her life. But the age of when she's nearly like 70, 80, I took her to a beauty parlor in Green Park. She was running off. I had to pull her. Madonna in Green Park. I have a photograph of her. She has never gone to a beauty parlor in her life. Okay. But I said, Mom, it's not about beautifying or having, because she's a very simple woman. But I said, it's about feeling good for once, because you have always sacrificed your energy, your time for the children, for the community, for education. So I have a picture of her just relaxing with nice at Green Park, Shika, and it's one of the photographs I will treasure for the rest of my life. But I remember how I was pulling her literally into that. But I think it's very important. Yeah.
This is not only your mother, there's so many mothers even today. Sometimes I also, inside of me spearheading this, and all these big talks, you just get right, carried away, not taking care of yourself, and then we get so used to that buzz of not paying attention that we just, the minute that attention comes on us, we want to run because we don't know how to deal with that, and that's what your mother did. But that's again a generational thing being passed from so many, generations down to a mother, that she has to feel guilty about even taking that off and sitting and thinking about herself. And now many people are standing up to give self time to mothers. Men have become even more involved now in the modern times. I must appreciate that men are understanding that, corporates are making all these diversity things. At least they're talking about it in conversations. And it's such a beautiful thing to hear that what you're doing for mothers is the healing, because we must heal. And I'm waiting for what your daughter is going to do, because we have another mother in the future, most likely. Depends what she wants or not, but if she does, we have another generations going ahead. So I'm sure this legacy is going to pass ahead, and you're so inspiring. I think I can keep talking to you forever, Bina. And I will visit Manipur. Sandhya has joined us. Ami has joined us. You standing up for these mums, and Ami and Sandhya, I know that maybe you've joined in late, but do listen to this. I just love the history that you just shared of mothers standing up. It's so beautiful. I can listen to you forever. What is that one message that you have that you would like? And we have other fellow Indians seeing this. We have women from different parts. What is that one message that you would like to give before we wrap up, Meena?
Yes, absolutely. I think mothers, as I said, we are next to divinity. We are life givers. We are life sustainers. We protect our children, our nations, and this earth. And we are strong, we are beautiful, and we are powerful. Let no one take this away from us. And keep standing and keep this inspiration. And this is how we'll take care of ourselves, our nations, and the world. That's the only way I can see for peace and healing that not just India, but the whole world deserves right now, in a time when over 100 people are being displaced because of wars and conflict. I think it is back to us moms who have to reclaim that peace, justice, and sanity back. Please do it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And more power to you. And I'm sure all the blessings from all the mums will echo in your life, in your daughter's life, and in many mothers' life. And I will come in, if that market does still exist of women.
Oh, yes. The last 500 years. And it will be for the next 500 years too, Shika.
Wow, I'm going to come. I have to come just to see that. So I will get in
Oh
touch
my
with you.
God. You will be like so happy when you see that market.
I think
Yeah.
I would just keep talking to moms and bringing them live to tell their stories all the time, and we'll do that. We'll do that because
Yeah.
I'm all about sharing this. What a powerful conversation! And today, I think people in the comments have also experienced a very powerful history of mothers, that has come up. And thank you so much for showing up. I know your child was very little, but thank you so much for showing up on behalf of so many people who showed up, and you're always showing up and doing such great work. So we'll have to go off so that people can see the
Sure.
interview, because otherwise this interview can go long and nobody will look at it and they'll not watch it. I want them to watch this, but maybe
Yeah.
we'll do it again sometimes in some conversations with mom. Thank you, Meena Lakshmi.
Yeah. Big hugs to all of you there, all the moms. I mean, you are powerful, and we're going to hang in with each other, and this is how we will keep going. Okay. Take care, Shika.
That's
All
our
right.
book. That's our book.
Oh,
It will come
amazing.
to you.
Amazing.
It has 100
Amazing.
stories of mothers who never gave up, some incredible stories. And maybe when I come and see you in person, if you're
Yeah.
ever in Pune or Delhi, let me know. I will,
Sure.
if I'm around, I'll come and give this book to you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just stay on, and we're going off live. And thank you, everybody in the comments. I know some people in the replay are going to be blown away with this conversation as well. Thanks, Veena Lakshmi, for being you.
Thank you, Shika, also for all your incredible work. We remember we are together in this.
Yes, yes. After this, for sure, we are together. Just stay
Yeah.
on. I'm just taking off live. Yeah.
Oh.